Hello, everybody. Welcome to Flow and Restore Yoga with 10 minutes of guided meditation at the end. Please grab your restorative yoga props, pillows, blankets, and perhaps for the flow part too, a couple of yoga blocks and a strap. And let's begin in a comfortable seat of your choice. Take a moment to shift around as you need. Look around your space to visually orient yourself and feel safety where you are, to begin turning your attention inward as you feel ready, starting to come into a still, comfortable position, maybe with the eyes closed. So I'd like to share from the Yoga Almanac this excerpt about abundance. It's called Celebrating the Wholeness Within. Abundance is conflated with the external world, a full cornucopia of harvest, a bulging wallet, sufficient material possessions. The uneven distribution of resources in society creates an idea of scarcity. We are all in seeming competition for diminishing assets, and the global economy supports the stratification of have and have not. But we are abundant, whole beings, integrally interconnected and complete. Scarcity is an illusion. We already have everything we need within. Patanjali discusses abundance through two different lenses in the Yoga Sutras. The first is asteya, which is Sanskrit for the third yama that directs us not to steal. The second is aparigraha, Sanskrit for the fifth yama that directs us not to covet. Asteya teaches us that once the principle of non-stealing has been established, we enter a state of mental prosperity. By recognizing that we need not take from others, we define our sense of abundance. Aparigraha teaches the practice of non-attachment. When we release ourselves from comparison, we are able to see the depth of our inner well. Looking to others as a benchmark for our personal satisfaction or success creates the misconception of scarcity. Yoga as a practice fosters feelings of wholeness. So as we sit here now, taking a moment to pause, to tune in with ourselves, feeling into what we might be carrying in our physical bodies, any tension, any sense of pleasure or openness. Feeling into the sensations that you're working with today. Sense the quality of your breathing just as it is, no need to change it. And how your breath reflects what's happening deeper inward, like in your mental state, your emotional state, and how you feel energetically. Remembering that the word yoga literally means union. As we accept all parts of ourselves, even the parts that might not be feeling so strong and healthy at the moment, even the parts that might feel discomfort or pain, or the parts that we might feel some sort of shame or difficulty embracing about ourselves, whatever that might be. As we embrace all of that, we start to connect with the abundance of who we are. Bring a sense of radical acceptance as we've talked about in the weeks past. And maybe bring the palms to meet at your heart as you bow in, and take a moment to think about somebody that you care about or a group of beings that you care about. That you might dedicate the fruits of your yoga practice to today. So with that feeling of generosity, we come from a place of wholeness, a place of acknowledging our completeness. And then is there a theme that you want to highlight? Is there a quality about yourself that you want to evoke? Maybe a more specific intention to inspire you through this practice? And as we send our dedications and intentions out, I invite you to chant with me to create resonance through 3 ohms. Let's empty this breath. Take a deep inhale. Bowing in towards your heart center, your inner compass. I invite you to bring this question into your being as we go into the physical yoga practice. With your intention that you set, what would it feel like to fully experience it happening right now? Not in the future, but right now. Can you move through this physical practice, embodying the energy of that intention coming to fruition? How would you breathe? How would your posture be affected? How would your energy and presence be affected? Let's start to slow the breath down, inhaling fully and exhaling just as slowly, creating a soft whispering sound as you close your lips, if that's available for you, while gently narrowing the back of your throat. So starting the practice of Ujjayi Pranayama, which means victorious breathing. So let's see if we can keep that sound rhythm that you can hear in your own breath going throughout, especially the flow half of this yoga session. And then let's come on down to all fours, hands and knees. Setting up your knees so that they're a couple inches behind your hips. And then setting up your fingertips as if you're holding cupcakes in your hands and there's really high icing. So really lift the center of your palms and get the very tips of your fingers lightly pushing off the floor. And then we'll take a few rounds of cat-cow like this. Inhaling, glide your chest through your upper arms, then coiling it up, look up, cow pose. Exhaling, contract your belly, tucking the tailbone, drop your head to round into cat pose. Again, inhale, broaden your chest forward and up. Exhale, rounding your back. And then keep going about 5 more cycles of breath like this. You might start to move a different way, maybe turning the head side to side like you're looking over your shoulder, maybe swaying the hips left and right, just stretching into the side waist a bit. Keep the breath full, steadily flowing. And then we'll plant the palms flat so the index fingers are both pointing forward and parallel to each other. Spread the fingers wide. Tuck your toes and lift your hips up and back into downward facing dog. Continue to move out at your own way for about 5 breaths here. Maybe pedaling your feet in place to help warm up the backs of your legs. Maybe softly moving your head, your mouth, your face. Just helping to relax your neck. Continue to listen to your breath as you start to hold still in this posture. Feet hips width apart, parallel. Bend your knees a lot for a moment and lift your hips as high and as far back as you can, with arms straight as if your hands were pushing the mat forward and into the earth. And as you keep your hips at that height, begin to press the front tops of your thigh bones towards the rear wall, sinking your heels perhaps heavier towards the floor. They don't have to touch the ground, and you can keep the knees as bent as you need. Wrap the outer sides of your upper arms or triceps towards the floor to broaden across your shoulders. Completely let your head go. Steady your gaze on one spot for 3 more breaths. Lifting the shoulders back. Pressing your chest towards your shins while sealing in your front ribs, drawing the navel towards the spine. 1 more deep breath. Now, like you're walking on a tight rope, as you exhale next, step 1 foot in front of the other very slowly. See if you can do it without bending your knees. So you have to actually lift the thigh bone and plug it into the hip socket, which engages the lower belly a bit more. 1 foot at a time, slowly arriving at the top of your mat with feet hips distance in a forward fold. Then pressing your fingertips onto the floor or onto your shins, engage the belly in, and inhale, stretch your heart towards your front wall, looking forward. Exhale, bow in towards your legs. Twice more to your breath. Really press with your fingertips. Inhale, lengthen your spine forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen forward. Glide your shoulders back and feel the sides of your torso lengthen. Exhale, fold. Then bend your knees a lot more. Drop the arms, drop the head. And as you inhale, slowly roll up to stack 1 vertebra at a time. Lifting your head last, roll the shoulders behind you. With an exhale, circle them down, turn the palms to face forward in mountain pose. So listening to your breath, let's start to flow through Sun Salutation A, Surya Namaskar A. As you root into the earth, inhale, circle your arms overhead. Maybe the palms touch. Look up. Exhale, hinging from your hips. Maybe you bend the knees. Fold forward. Press the ground to your legs. Inhale, lift your chest through your upper arms. Gaze forward. Plant your hands. Carefully step into plank. We'll pause for 3 breaths there on this first one. So as you stack your shoulders over your wrists, either lower your knees right under your hips, or firm your inner heels back, straightening the legs. Lift the navel, shoulders back. Chaturanga. As you exhale, glide forward, graze your elbows by your side ribs. Keep the neck long as you slowly lower all the way down. Press every toenail into the mat. And as you breathe in, roll the shoulder heads behind you, broadening your chest as you look forward on the ground. Cobra. Hug the elbows close. And exhale, gently lower your chest, maybe your forehead, twice more. Inhale, peel the shoulders back, open the chest, Cobra. Exhale, lower to the earth. This time, Cobra, or lift the pelvis too if your lower back feels fine with it, upward facing dog. Breathing in, draw the shoulder heads back, wide open across the heart space. Engage your belly in, exhale, lift your hips back. Downward facing dog. Let's take 3 to 5 breaths here. As you let the body find stillness, hear your breath rebalancing in and out. What does it feel like in your body to manifest the intention you set? Let's move with that energy. Bending your knees, lift your heels and hips. Look past your hands. At the end of your exhale, holding your breath out, lift your pelvic floor as you walk or lightly jump to the top of your mat. Inhale, press with your hands and lengthen forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep your arms, rising all the way up. Look up. In salutation, exhale, bring your palms to meet at your hearts. Saluting the sun up there, this great source of energy. Breathing in, palms up. Saluting the sun within as you bring your hands to your heart and bow into yourself. Inhale, lift your heart, lengthen forward. Step into plank as you exhale. Continue to lower forward through Chaturanga. Choosing Cobra or Upward Facing Dog, breathe in, blossom your chest open. Exhale, landing in Downward Facing Dog. Pause there for 3 to 5 breaths. We're going for 3 more cycles of Sun Salutation A. So when you're ready, after exhaling with knees bent looking forward, hold your breath out while you walk or lightly jump to the top. Then inhale, rise halfway looking forward. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, circle your arms, palms meet, and salutation. Exhale, bringing that salutation to your heart. 3 more. Inhale, sweep the space around you. Exhale, dive in. Inhale, offer your heart forward. Step to plank. If you're gonna jump, meet in Chaturanga, holding the breath in. Then exhale when you land in Chaturanga. Inhale into your back bend. Exhale into Downward Dog, holding there for 3 to 5 breaths. When you're ready, bend your knees. Look forward at the bottom of an exhale. With empty breath, walk or float. Inhale, rise forward halfway. Exhale, fold. Rooting down, inhale, rise. Palms meet in union. Exhale, acknowledging that union at your heart center. Keep going. Inhale, sweep the space around you. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, lengthen forward. Exhale, walk or float. Take it through your vinyasa. We'll meet in Downward Facing Dog. 3 to 5 breaths. So finishing your count of 3 to 5 breaths, please walk or float forward on your own and take 1 more. Surya Namaskar A. We'll meet in Downward Facing Dog. Let the sound of your breath lead your pace. And then let's take another 3 to 5 breaths in Downward Facing Dog. Remember that this is your practice, so as you listen to your body, anytime you need to rest, you can either come down to your knees in Child's Pose or take another resting position that works for you, or slow down your pace. There'll be different variations you can choose from for each posture. So from Downward Facing Dog, please bring your feet together to touch. And for this core strengthening movement, you might opt to place your knees on the floor for added support. Otherwise, inhale from Downward Dog, raise the right leg behind you. As you exhale, cross the right knee to tap your left elbow or outer upper arm as you shift forward to stack your 2 shoulders over your wrists. Inhale, back to 3-legged dog. Exhale, tap your right knee outside your right elbow or tricep in plank. Feel your breath move you. Inhale, back to 3-legged dog. This time, stay here and exhale, bend your right knee and turn the thigh open at the hip. Take a deep breath in and tack the left hip back. Exhale, rounding into plank, bend the right knee towards your nose, and very quietly land the foot right between your hands for warrior two. Spin your left heel down, align front heel to arch a back foot, and inhale to cartwheel your arms to rise up. So arriving here, steady your gaze right away on one spot, just past your right hand, or maybe eyes closed, and feel any adjustments in your body from the inside out. Outer right hip wraps underneath as you bend the front knee just on top of the ankle, pointed towards the pinky toe. Outer left foot firms into the ground as the left leg is straight and slightly turned in, firming the top of your left thigh bone back. With a tall spine, relaxed shoulders. Let's finish 2 more breaths in Virabhadrasana 2. Inhale, straighten your right leg. You may want to shorten your stance 2 to 3 inches for triangle. Glide your hips sideways towards the back of your mat and reach the right hand past your right knee before lowering it onto your right leg or just to the right of your leg, maybe using a block. As you reach the left arm towards the sky, spin your chest slightly to face up and tack the crease of your right hip back towards your left outer heel, while you lengthen the crown of your head forward towards the front wall. Feel into your breath here. Feel into how you're holding yourself up in this posture, Trikonasana. Take a look at the floor just to the left of your right foot. Place your left hand flat on the ground there, spreading the fingers wide so your left wrist is right under your left shoulder. Bend your right knee coming into a high lunge. Use your right thumb to hook the crease of the right hip down. So now you're on the ball of the left foot and the feet are hips width apart. Raise the right arm towards the sky and spiral your chest to the right into the twisting lunge. Option to lower the back knee to the ground. Option to open up the right side body some more by rotating your right outer upper arm to face the right wall and sweeping the right arm forward overhead. Feel your right hip sink towards the ground. You bend the front knee right over the heel facing forward, while the front of your left thigh lifts away from the ground, squaring your hips as you rotate the rib cage. Let's take a couple more breaths. Entering side plank, one option is to lower your left knee and step your right foot all the way to the back of your mat flat. Another option is to straighten your left leg, roll onto the pinky toe edge of your left foot flex, and step the right foot down the right edge of your mat facing the right wall like a kickstand. Another option is to stack the right flexed foot on top of the left flexed foot. Lift the left hip and feel your wrists and shoulders stack just like triangle pose. Let's take another 3 to 5 breaths here in Vashisthasana. Again, bring the energy of that intention into how you're embodying the energy here in this posture. Get your left hand, sweep the right arm overhead. With an exhale, lower into your chosen vinyasa or cat-cow or rest, or go straight to downward facing dog. Let's take a few breaths. How does your body feel here? What is the quality of your breath? in downward facing dog, please bring your feet together to touch. Inhale, raise the left leg behind you. And exhale, bend the left knee to tap your right elbow or tricep, balancing your two shoulders over your wrists. Inhale, raise the left leg back. Exhale, tap the knee outside your left elbow or tricep in plank. Inhale, raise the left leg back. This time, bend the knee. As you exhale, turn out the thigh. Inhale, tack your right outer hip back. Rounding forward, exhale, bend the left knee towards your nose and softly step the foot right between your hands. Spin the right heel down, align heel to arch. Inhale to warrior two. So eyes focused. Feel grounding through both feet. That feeling of strength and foundation, rootedness. And you hear the consistent rhythm in your breath. Feel the left thigh open, facing forward. The right leg slightly turned in. Bowl shape of your pelvis, positioned upright, neutral, supporting the full length of your spine. Last 3 breaths here. Warrior two. Virabhadrasana 2. Straightening your left leg. To prepare for triangle, you might opt to shorten your stance 2 to 3 inches. Glide your hips sideways towards the back of your mat, reaching the left hand forward past the left knee before lowering it onto your left leg or just to the left of your leg, perhaps on a block. Tack the crease of your left hip towards your right foot and spiral your chest slightly to face the sky, maybe looking past your right thumb. Notice the breath here. Trikonasana. Peek down at the ground just to the right of your front foot. Transition slowly, placing the right palm there so that your wrist lands right under your right shoulder. Bending your left knee, step the foot to the left. Come to the ball of your right foot in a high lunge. Use your left thumb to hook the crease of your left hip down. As you inhale to press the inner right heel back and stretch your spine forward. Leveling your hips, exhale, hollow your belly and twist slowly to the left, raising your left arm up. Now, if you did so on the first side, you want more side stretch in the left side here. Wrap the left tricep to face the left wall, then sweep that arm overhead. Find one spot to focus your eyes. 4 more breaths. Now, remember how you entered your side plank on side 1? Option 1, place the right knee to the ground and step the left foot to the rear of your mat. Option 2, keep the right leg straight and roll onto the outside edge of the foot flexed. Step the left foot down the left edge of your mat, facing the left wall like a kickstand. Next option, stack the left flex foot over the right flex foot. Whatever you choose, back to your breath, steady your eyes, Vashisthasana. Bringing a sense of confidence and fullness, wholeness into how you're holding yourself up here. Whatever variation you've chosen. And even if you fall out of it, take your time, look down, the left arm overhead. Take it into your vinyasa, last one if you choose it. will meet in downward facing dog. Taking a few breaths to pause and feel into the effects of that physical sequence. Please take a look right between your hands. Step your right foot there. Pivot your 2 feet to face the left wide edge of your mat so that you're in a wide-legged forward fold with feet parallel. Coming up halfway, press your fingertips on blocks of the ground and inhale to stretch the crown of your head forward. Exhale, fold in. One option is to bend your knees generously and hold opposite elbows with your hands, softly swaying your spine as you help to decompress your spine. One option is to clasp your big toes with your index and middle fingers, bending the elbows apart as you draw the crown of your head towards the ground, lifting the shoulders away from your neck. Another option for those of you that practice headstand and have no neck or shoulder injuries is to walk the hands flat past your feet, bending your elbows back like chaturanga, lowering the top of the head to the floor until you've created equilateral triangle, 2 heels of your palms and the very top of your head. Then as you press the hands down, lifting the shoulders away from your neck, you can start to place your knees on your upper arms or straddle the legs with feet flexed, rising into your headstand. So whatever variation of this inversion, let's take at least another 5 deep breaths before we make our way into child's pose. Make sure as you transition to child's pose, if you're in a standing forward fold, that you keep your head low. Try not to lift your head up quickly after being upside down for a while. So as you come down to child's pose, choose wherever you'd like to place your hands. You could also use a prop to rest your forehead on. Let's take about 7 or so deep breaths here as we transition into the cooling yin half of our physical practice. Breathing into the belly, breathing out through the mouth. Abdominal breath in. Long exhalation through the mouth. Feel free to let any sound release through your mouth. Couple more breaths here. And with your hands on the floor alongside your knees, slowly roll the spine upright as you breathe in. And for a moment, find a comfortable way to sit upright so that we can slowly circle the head out, dropping the chin towards your chest. Inhaling as you roll right ear towards right shoulder, tilting the chin towards the sky. Exhaling left ear towards left shoulder, dropping the chin towards the earth. Take it slowly at your own pace. One more circle in this direction for a few breaths. And when you finish that last circle, go in the opposite direction twice more. And then we'll start to roll out the ribs. So circling the rib cage over to your right, shift the chest forward, exhale the ribs to the left, hollow the belly, the ribs press back. Take it all around. A few more times in this direction, breathing in, breathing out. And as you're ready, switch direction. A couple more circles. And then relax at center. We're gonna set up for supine hero's pose, Supta Virasana. So for this, we're gonna be sitting on our shins. If your knees are sensitive to this position, you could grab a folded blanket as thick as you need. So the thicker it is, the more support you're giving your knees. And you can place the very thick part of it right behind the backs of your knees as you sit back. And if your knees are still feeling a bit sensitive or stiff, you can also put a pillow or another folded blanket under your pelvis like this. If you're up high, like I'm here, you may want to have a couple of pillows or pieces of furniture alongside of you as you might start to lean back, so you have something to place your hands on. For those of you that are not sitting on anything and you're able to sit on your shins directly, that feels fine in your knees. You might also go a step further and manually turn your calves lightly out to the side so that you can sit with your pelvis on the ground right in between your ankles. In any of these variations, make sure that your toes are pointing back. Your feet are not turned out. Knees are no wider than hips distance, and they're pretty much on the ground. They're not lifting up high. And then just feel into the area of your quadriceps. It's this huge muscle here, huge muscles here at the front of your thighs. So that's sort of what we're targeting, but your body will feel it where it will need to. And then we'll start to place the hands behind you. Breathe in, breathe out. And for those of you that find it possible to lean back further, you may want to set up props behind you to catch you, like one tall block far away for the back of your head, and one medium-sized block closer to you so that you can land the area right under your shoulder blades on top. If that feels like it's way too far, you're not going to lean that far. You could also put a pillow on top of them so it's even higher to catch you, like a reclining chair. And then as you take your time here, we're going to be here exploring for about 2 more minutes. You might start to lean back, and if you are leaning back, think of lifting your frontal hip bones slightly towards your lowest front ribs and elongating your tailbone down and forward towards the space between your knees to avoid any feeling of compressing the lower back. And just because you have props behind your torso to catch you doesn't mean you're going to make it there. You just explore. It's just options, just open-ended options. Open mind, open body, open breath, open heart. Let your breath ease you into your capacity in this posture. As we hold still longer, it may be opportune time to really feel how much you're using your lungs and your full capacity of each breath. Not forcefully, but mindfully. Staying there a bit longer here. Just realized I'm the DJ as well, and it's time for some yin music. Got about 20 more seconds in the position that you're in. So don't rush to come out of it. Remember how long it took to get to where you are right now, and really honor how much time it will take, maybe even longer, to come out of this position. It's bringing that mindful quality of patience and non-judgment as you begin to press your hands on the floor or on props. Taking a few breaths to slowly lift your torso if it was leaning back. And then we'll eventually come to lie down on our bellies, face down with legs straight back. So as you're lying on your belly, you may want to grab a pillow or a block you could support your head with, just in case you'd like that support, and place it just to the right of your skull on the ground. And as you slide your right arm open out to the right, palm face down, in line with the shoulder, place your left hand on the ground beside your left shoulder and begin to press the ground away with it so that you can slowly roll over onto your right hip, thereby resting the right side of your head onto that pillow or block if you'd like to. Take a moment to send your right shoulder blade further down your back. Help open up the right side of your neck and feel into how much weight you'd like to open that front of the right shoulder with. If you need more sensation, you can lean further back. You could step the left foot behind you on the floor, maybe even the right foot on the floor. If you need less sensation, you can lean more forward so the belly is closer to the ground. And we'll be here for another 2 minutes. Deep breathing. And again, just like in our flow portion, notice how you are embodying the energy of the intention you're cultivating. Is there any part of your body that could use a bit more of your attention, your loving attention to your breath? Take a deep inhalation wide across your collarbones. And as you slowly exhale, begin to roll back onto your stomach to lie face down. And you may want to put that pillow under your forehead here for a moment as we pause before transitioning to the second side. So pause to observe how your body feels after that on one side, how you feel after that. Let's take a lion's breath here. Inhale, fill up. Open your mouth wide. Any sound, let it out. Now, if you're using a block or pillow for the second side, place it just to the left of your head. Slide your left arm wide out to the left with the palm face down. Place the right hand on the ground beside your right shoulder and slowly press the floor away. as you're gently rolling over onto your left hip. Send the left shoulder head down your back, away from your neck. And see what the side of your shoulders is needing from you. Leaning further back offers more sensation and depth if you need it. And leaning further forward lessens the sensation or shifts it around to feel into what your body is asking for. Let's continue to breathe deeply and consciously. 2 minutes. Let's take one more deep inhale here, wide across your chest. Yeah, as you exhale slowly, please unravel back onto your belly to lie face down. Pausing for a few breaths, perhaps a couple of lion's breaths on your own. Please slide your hands back alongside your ribs to gently press up into a seated position. You're going to set up in a restorative spinal twist using a pillow, perhaps your blocks, and a blanket as well. So take your pillow first and trace it along the midline of your mat towards the front half of your mat. Have your blocks off to the side where you might reach for them, your blankets as well, just in case. And then have a seat with your right hip flush against the back edge of that pillow. Both legs extended towards your left wall. And slide your left leg towards the back of your mat. So now your legs are shaped like a capital L. Place your 2 hands to frame the left and right sides of the pillow. And turn your chest completely to face the front edge of your mat, adjusting your pelvis and legs as needed so that you can comfortably do so. You might need to shift the right hip slightly back towards the rear of the mat. You might need to bend the knees. But once your chest is fully facing the front of your mat, stretch the front of your torso by lifting your heart, looking up. Inhale. Exhale, begin to lower your belly onto the pillow. And if it feels too far away, here's what you could do. You could place a block front part of your mat right under the pillow to create a slant, an incline. You can make that incline a higher grade by using 2 blocks. You could also use a blanket folded right under your belly to catch you even closer, or a blanket folded right under your forehead like you're lying face down on a massage table. Otherwise, you can turn your head to one side, but remember which side you're facing so that on side 2 of this twist, you can Turn your head in the opposite direction. And then we'll be here for 2 more minutes, breathing in, filling up the backs of your lungs, sides of your rib cage, the pit of your belly, and your upper chest. Feel the fullness of each breath, and then completely let it go. As you let your body rest in stillness, allow your mind to gently ride the sound waves of your own breath. Notice that your jaw is relaxed, your shoulders are soft, your neck is at ease. Scan into other parts of your body that you might tend to tense, that you're aware of. Consciously give them permission to soften here. Let's take one more breath here. And as you're exhaling, slowly press the ground and gently lift your head, your torso. Keep the props where they are as you turn to face the back of your mat with legs straight in front of you, sitting tall for a few breaths. Now keep your right leg facing the back of your mat, but slide your left leg to your left, creating that capital L shape out of your legs. Keep your legs there and turn to face the front of your mat, placing your hands along the left and right sides of the pillow. Adjust your pelvis and your legs as needed so that you can comfortably turn your chest to face the front of your mat. Take an in-breath and lift your heart, look up. As you exhale, begin to lower your belly. Use whatever props you might need, as this side might be different. And if you turn your head to one side, turn your head to the other side here for 2 minutes. Deep breathing. With just 30 seconds left here, is there anywhere you could relax a little bit more?
take a deep breath. And then please take your time lifting your body upright again. And we will set up our bodies for corpse pose. So a few options. You might already have your favorite positions. Feel free to come into that. If you're not sure if you've got any tension in the lower back, you might like to place your pillow across the mat so that you can place the backs of your knees onto that pillow. Splay the feet wider than hips width, allowing the knees to slightly bend and feel supported. You could also, as you lie back, place a weighted blanket over your pelvis and belly, as that can feel grounding, that gentle weight. If you have a light weight to place over your eyes, an eye pillow or something like it, that can also feel grounding to help relax. And as you're coming to lie down on your back, take a moment to feel that your left and right hips are evenly descending. There's a sense of symmetry in the left and right sides of your body. Shoulder blades moving down the back, chest open, turning the palms to face up. Rest the hands slightly away from your thighs. So allowing this gesture of openness, receptivity. And then maybe turn the head a moment and just feel into your neck, feel into your jaw, feel into the muscles in your face, softening as you breathe out. And as you start to arrive in stillness, close your eyes, let out one more long exhalation if needed, and then drop in to the feeling of letting go of all effort and having full trust in your sense of abundance, your sense of fullness. Shavasana.
Begin to deepen your breath where you are. Ease into rubbing your thumbs across your fingertips. Softly turning your head. Stretch your arms. Stretch your feet, your legs. And taking your time, find your own path of least resistance to gradually rise up into a comfortable seat. Prepare for our 10 minutes of guided meditation. Reach for any prop that might be useful to help support your body if needed. Positioning your body in a seated way that allows for a feeling of groundedness. You can feel balance of spreading your weight into the surface below. And upliftedness. There's an openness at the heart space, an elongation through the spine while being relaxed. And as you keep your breath natural, choose how you'd like to set your hands, as that can also promote certain types of energy. One mudra that calls upon the elemental forces of nature. 5 elements, as we talked about in the past, is to bring fingertips of each opposite hand together. The elbows are loosely bent. Beneath the shoulders, the hands are floating about the height of the elbows in front of you. It might be too long to hold for 10 minutes. You might turn the palms face up on your lap, thumb tips touching, a more neutral gesture. Or thumb and index finger to touch, palms face down in chin mudra for feeling of groundedness. Palms face up in Jnana mudra for feeling of energized upliftedness. So as you come into your hand gesture, choose to either close your eyes or steady a soft gaze just ahead onto one spot. Begin by feeling your breath naturally flow in and out. At any point of this meditation that you notice your attention wandering off, come back to the feeling of your breath, which is always happening here and now. I invite you now to begin listing mentally what you are grateful for. Asking yourself, what am I grateful for? Take a minute to list off in our minds. Let one thing remind you of another thing as you ripple off into a list of gratitude. you get stuck, think of something that's here right now, like your ability to sit here and think about what you're grateful for, or this breath right here. And as you marinate in that feeling of appreciation, of fullness, of abundance, I invite you to ask your inner being, what does abundance mean to me? What does abundance mean to me? And for the next minute, I invite you to just allow space for whatever images, words, thoughts, sensations come up. What does abundance mean to me? And having acknowledged what you're grateful for and what you define as abundance. Some might define abundance as fulfillment professionally, fulfillment in relationships, or a sense of independence and freedom. We all have different ways that we define abundance. The next question for self-inquiry, I invite you to ask within, is how am I abundant right now? How am I abundant right now? In what ways are you currently experiencing abundance in your life? Just allow 2 minutes. Just open space and listen in. recall the intention that you set at the beginning of this practice today. Feel into how you already possess the qualities that are in alignment with that intention. Begin to connect the dots from your feeling state of wholeness and abundance to that which you are currently creating through intention. So that in the next 2 minutes, you play with your imagination, visualizing how that looks like to have that intention fulfilled. How it feels like in your breathing. What it feels like in the cells of your body, in your posture, and how you're vibrating. Have fun being creative with it. All this is full. All that is full. From fullness, fullness comes. When fullness is taken from fullness, fullness still remains. The Upanishads. Let's join the palms to meet at the heart as you lift your heart and bow in to greet it. Remember whom you've dedicated the fruits of this practice to. See them in your mind's eye, receiving benefits. And in what ways might you share your abundance as you step off this mat today? Let's close the practice with one chant of Om. Take a deep breath. The light in me bows to the light in you. Namaste.